Hello, I am Francesco Federico. I am from Milan, Italy, and today I'd like to talk to you about the new media in Italy. I start with a snapshot of the Italian situation about new and online media, and then I talk to you about two success stories. So, okay, it's going. Whoop. Okay, so let's start with a few facts and figures about Italy. As you can see, it's a pretty mature market. Italians usually do on the internet what they used to do offline. So it's not a case that I've written 46% of surfers visit a newspaper site, not a news site, a newspaper site. So they visit the site of the newspaper they used to read offline. And they go and read it online. So it's a pretty, I could say, 1.0 use of the internet. It's not very mature. Only 11% of surfers go on a social networking site once a week, which is a pretty low level. It's even more interesting, the other figure. 82% of Italians don't have a profile on a social networking site. So 18% do. And if you apply the rule of 1990, I don't know if you are familiar, so when you have a social network, you have 90 users that are just visitors, 9 users that are occasional producers, and just 1 visitor who is an active contributor. So if only 18 online Italians have a profile, it means that only 0.2 Italians are active contributors. So it's a very low participation on the internet. But despite this situation, we have 3 million blogs, and Italian is the 4th language of blogging after Chinese, English, and Spanish. It's 3 million blogs equals more or less to the 6% of the total population. So there are quite some contrast in this scenario. And there is this last data which is particularly interesting. Is we have a significant drop in visits by 20 to 45% during the spring-summer seasons, especially on weekends. It's a quite severe drop due to outdoor activities. So internet is mainly seen as an extra. It's not seen as a useful tool. It's seen as an extra, as a commodity. This is very well shown also by this quick comparison between Badoo and Facebook. I think that Italy is pretty much the only country of one of the few countries where Badoo has 2 million registered users and Facebook only 200,000. So there is this is a quite interesting contrast. This graphics comes from Google Insights, and you see how much Badoo is much more researched on Google in Italy compared with Facebook, which has, in this summer, Facebook has started to rise, but the numbers are still very low. So this again underlines that Italians are not quite interested in advanced features of social networking, such as organizing events, creating photo albums, tagging people. This is not activities that they use very much. They prefer to use Badoo, which is a very linear and straightforward social networking site where essentially you just have a photo, a profile, and the main activity of the site is to rank other people's photos. So quite basic, and the whole website of Badoo is around being on a ranking which is published on the home page, and being on that list seems to be so attractive that we have a lot of people that are willing to pay €1 via SMS to be on that list. So this gives you, I'm telling you this to give you an idea of a market which is pretty mature. But despite we have this pretty mature market, we also have some success stories. The first one is Blogosfera, who is entirely localized in Italian, which is a company. And then we have Robin Hood, which is an individual. And this company and this man are doing money, are getting a lot of money through advertising on the Italian market. So let's start with Blogosfera. Blogosfera is a network of blogs starting in 2005 with more or less 20 blogs covering different topics such as arts, automotive, mobile, and so on. And nowadays it counts over 200 blogs. So the idea here that started Blogosphere was, we know that these blogs individually cannot reach the audience necessary to become interesting to advertisers. So we group them together in a nano-publishing network, and then we exchange visibility one with each other. So the whole network reaches the numbers and the figures that online advertising are willing to pay for getting advertising on it. So what Blogosphere did essentially in Italy was exploiting the long tail as a business by grouping all these small blogs. And Blogosphere has also a corporate profile, a business-to-business offer. And essentially what they do here is they sell not only the infrastructure or the graphics to create a corporate or an event blog, but they sell you also the team, so a cameraman, a blogger, and this works very well, especially with events. As you can see in the lower right of the screen, there is Cisco Expo 2007, which was an event, a 2-day event held in Milan by Cisco, and what they did there, they sent a team on location that was feeding live content on this website, and Cisco didn't have to do anything. They just had to pay for this service. And this is very, the companies, Italian companies seems to like very much this kind of service. Now, Robinhood. Robinhood is a completely different story, because he's an individual, he's not a company. He's an individual, and what Robinhood says, Robinhood is his nickname. He likes to be called Robinhood because he says that a blogger should pursue not only economic achievements but also ethical and other social commitments. So he claims to live in Sherwood because all the content he produces is in Creative Commons license, so he shares the content he produces. And he was the first Italian, in particular, to understand the power of personal branding. As you can see, his cap and his jacket is all covered with patches with advertising. So there are advertising willing to pay him to bring these patches at the parties, conferences he attends. So he has a very strong personal brand. So after realizing that his blog was doing pretty good, he started Mustard New Media. Mustard New Media is an online magazine. I would say it's half a blog and half an online magazine. And as you can see in the second bullet point, this is the definition that Robin gives about Mustard New Media. So Mustard New Media is essentially a magazine about communicating through the internet, how to leverage the power of new and online media to communicate. And so the audience is quite broad, from internet professionals to PR, communicators, and so on. And to reach a broader audience, it's written in Italian, English, Spanish, and Portuguese to rise up the total number of audience. So what's interesting about Mustard New Media is that Mustard New Media, after 5 years of activity, generates more than 40k euros per month only through the Google AdSense revenue stream. So only through AdSense, his site is full of AdSense, is completely covered with advertising, but the content is in Creative Commons, so you are free to use and reuse and share, and only through AdSense he gets 40k per month. And then he has also other revenue streams coming from ebooks, gadgets, pay-per-lead campaigns, and other initiatives. He also has a TV channel, a web TV. And now, after 2 years, when he started Mustard New Media, he structured a little bit the magazine, hiring editors, content manager, especially to manage all the localization, all the different languages. Here you can see, this is the homepage of the English version of Mustard.